cornea transplant that was successful, this is how many are done per year in the United States, about 30 to 35,000 annually. There are 10 million people across the world who are blind due to the cornea problems, and about 100,000 are done in the whole world, but 30,000 of them or so are done in the United States because we have such a good system of eye banks and such a good system of donors, especially with like the donor law. This is the first doctor that was able to do a successful transplant was in 1905. It was a doctor in Czechoslovakia, Dr. Zern, and this was the first human transplant that was successful. Previously, people had tried cats and they failed miserably just because the tissue was rejected so rapidly. Now there's a lot of slides here. Let me go to the back ones. These are some reasons why people have cornea transplants. If they have diseases that make their corneas cloudy, or if they've had previous damage from surgery, like in the 1980s, a lot of people had sort of cataract surgery that damaged their corneas. There are hereditary conditions like Fuchs dystrophy, and there are infectious ones like herpes virus is a very common reason why people need cornea transplants, and then obviously like chemical injuries, such as our patient, Mr. Simentel. And this is a system of eye banks. The United States was one of the pioneers in eye banking system, and that's why we have sort of the most advanced eye banking service in the entire world. And we provide a lot of corneas to other countries as well, because they do not have their own eye banks, or people just are not as likely to donate as they are in the United States.
So those are human donor ones that you're talking about?
Yes, and we actually had our own independently operated eye bank here, where Dr. Sakawi and myself were the medical directors of it. It's the Lions Eye Bank, San Joaquin Lions Eye Bank downstairs at the California Eye Institute. However, that eye bank is now operated and managed by SightLife, which is a huge eye bank that runs multiple eye banks throughout the country. They're centered in Seattle, and they're the ones that provide my corneas as well as Dr. Sakawi's. But when we have donors from Fresno who have died and donated their corneas, it's harvested here in Fresno by our eye bank technicians downstairs, and then it's sent up to Seattle for screening, and it could go anywhere. It could come back to Fresno, it could go to anywhere across the country, even across the world.